Finally, I can say that wokeness has saved lives. Like we have here the evidence, the woke ideology. We need to find the university professors that made it and congratulate them because they have successfully managed to save many lives today. You see, during a Captain America screening in Washington, the theater roof collapsed, and fortunately, nobody died because no one was there to watch the movie except for two people. Now, I firmly believe, and this is my head canon, that those two individuals were Goku and Vegeta fighting it out. They wanted to know where an empty place is so they can battle without anyone getting hurt. And they decided, oh, well, Captain America is screening, so therefore we can go there. All jokes aside, though, no, like, seriously, like, thank you, Wokeness, for making movies that are so fucking shit that no one wants to see them. The two individuals apparently were traumatized, and I understand, like, imagine how horrible it must be. Like, you're going to the movies to relax, and then the roof falls on top of you. I think the girl was very lucky. Like, it literally fell around her. Like, if she was sitting in a different chair, she could have died. But this also shows the absolute state of disrepair that the cinemas are in because no one wants to go there. Like, if people actually did go to see the Hollywood movies, then they would have the money in order to fix these places. But the reality is, America has completely managed to destroy its entertainment industry, and unfortunately, it's self-inflicted. Like, no one forced them to have this. I don't accept the cope that, well, now people have home cinema. No, it's not the same thing, is it? Right? Because when you go to the actual cinema, when you go to the actual movies, you're going with friends. And at the end of the day, like, no matter what type of system you have, no matter the type of big TV and then the audio system, it's not the same like going to a cinema, right? It's like it's a big, massive screen and you're there with friends and stuff like that. That's a different thing. It's a different experience, but the reality is, in order for the experience to work, you would need to have good movies. You need to have good entertainment. And so people just stopped going, and you now have like these theaters in an absolute state of disrepair, and the IPs are in an absolute state of collapse. I just want you to remember when the Avengers came out, right? Like, imagine if someone were to tell you, yeah, I went to see the Avengers, and it was just me and another guy. Like, that would never happen. Every single Marvel movie that came out was packing the cinemas. Like, I remember going even on a Saturday night, because I was busy during the week. So, like, I went to Saturday night last hour. It was full. And it was actually difficult to get a reservation, to find a ticket. And so it's really sad, I generally think that the reason people don't go to the cinema is not just because, oh, well, they sit at home and they watch it on TV. No, it's because the entertainment is absolute shit. Like look at Japan, for instance, right? Let's compare. Japan has the arcades, right? So, like, theoretically, you can play the games at home, right? Like, you can sit at home, you can play video games, you got a couch. But they have a culture surrounding the arcades. Why? Because the environment is different. Like, you're going there with your girlfriend on a date, or you're going there with your buddies and you're playing Street Fighter at the arcade machine. It's a completely different experience, right? But the thing is that the games are awesome. Like, the games are amazing. And that's why people go there. Meanwhile, if the games are shit, the arcades would just die off. They would disappear. And so, yeah, it is unfortunate to see what's happening with American entertainment. If I'm not mistaken, like, I didn't even know that this movie was coming out, nor do I care. This is where they race swap Captain America, right? And I think, like, they made the big issue. It's like, okay, like, we have the technology. We can change his genome and we can change his race. Who does that, right? No one does that but America. Like, China doesn't do that shit. China doesn't take established characters and race swap them. That's like pure American technology. And they were like, it's important that everyone understands and is accepting that the new Captain America is a black man. And I'm like, okay, that's great, amazing. What anime is there now? Yeah, like what video games are coming out from Asia? That's my question. Like seriously, when it comes to American entertainment, the only time I even hear about established heroes like Captain America or Superman or Spider-Man, it's when it's with some DEI bullshit. right? It's like, oh, did you know that Superman's son is gay now? Did you know that the new Spider-Man is black? Did you know that it's like there's never a talk about like the new interesting villain they introduce or the new interesting villainess. Like they don't talk about that. They don't talk about, oh, like Superman has a new power or he's going on an interesting adventure that he never got before. No, instead it's like, oh, his son is gay, and then you look at the comic and you see Kal-El's son with a rainbow cape, the Amazon, the Jeff Bezos one, while supporting an environmentalist movement, having a plaque saying, there is no planet B. And I'm like, who the fuck wrote this? Of course there is a planet B. Like in DC Comics, you have Superman coming from Krypton, you fucking morons. Now I understand that Krypton has exploded, and you can say there is no planet B, but there are other planets. There's even other dimensions in that universe, right? But again, like they need to inject politics, right? Like if they don't have the character act like a VTuber for whomever the writer is, so they can inject their personal agenda and pick on Jordan Peterson or whomever they're targeting that particular week, they can't help themselves. And so they're keeping people out. Like everyone that's like, even the far left doesn't read these comics anymore. They're boring. They're bland. And unfortunately, they're managing to put people out of business. Cinema, in my opinion, is a thing that I enjoyed doing when I was a kid. And I would still enjoy it now. Like, I even talked with my wife. It's like, should we go to the cinema? And she's like, what movie? And I'm looking at the movies that are out. And I'm like, well, I don't fucking know. Like, none of these sound entertaining. By the way, did you notice that the slasher movies are dead as well? Like, what the fuck is up with that? Is it because, like, slasher movies had sexy women in it? Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and stuff. Like, usually the formula was, like, having a really hot chick. And a little bit of sex as well. Did you remember? Like, you'd see tits when you'd go watch a blockbuster movie. Because, it was for adults only. So, like, if it's for adults only, might as well show some tits. Like in Starship Troopers, for instance, right? And a lot of gore. And a lot of violence. I grew up with those movies. What happened to them? Where are they? Is China offended? I think that's the reason. Seriously, like, China actually managed to save Hollywood from a lot of LGBT representation. Like, if you look at American TV shows, there's a gay person in every single one of them. But if you look at American movies, there's almost no gay people. And the reason for it is China. Like, China gay-kept American culture. Yeah, they paid their homophobia tax. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.